Hello, and welcome to the lifestyle segment of Women to Watch. I'm Cheri Morrison. Today, I have the pleasure to introduce Laura Taylor, founder and chief mingle officer of Mingle Mocktails. Welcome to the show, Laura.
Thank you so much for having me. It's exciting to chat with you.
It's exciting to have you here. We've been in touch over the years on and off for quite a while now, and I'm excited to let everybody know about what you've accomplished here and how you've grown. You've done a fantastic job. So Laura has developed and launched Mingle Mocktails in 2017. And before we get into how she switched gears and changed her career, Laura, please tell us a little bit about where you're from and your education.
Sure. I grew up in San Diego and never planned on living in Philadelphia, but here we are. I went to college at California Polytechnic State University, or Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, for industrial engineering, and dove in using that degree in engineering sales before moving on to companies like Accenture, IBM, and Tableau Software.
Wow, there's some pretty big names in the industry. How about that? So you must have done pretty well. In 2017, you made a personal decision to stop drinking alcohol. And you told me about how awkward you felt and how you even made a point to order or bring your own ginger ale. So it appeared as though you were having a good time and you were drinking something with alcohol so people wouldn't confront you as though there was something wrong, which they're so good at doing. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. So I did give up drinking alcohol, and I thought that would be hard, but I found it even harder to go back into those social situations and be stuck with boring sparkling water. So, as you said, Cheri, I actually started bringing cans of Diet Ginger Ale to parties so that I could put it in a glass and it would look like Prosecco or something because people would leave me alone. So, that seemed to be a constant theme, whether at work events or backyard barbecues. People would make comments and it got a little old. So the ginger ale was just kind of a quick fix when I needed it.
Yeah, no, I understand. I don't drink, and I'll go on and off. It's not like something that is mandatory for me, but it's a lifestyle change that I've decided to make. And it's funny how when you get to a party, if you just ask for a club soda or something, and it doesn't look garnished and pretty and everything, people go, "What's the matter? Are you okay? Are you sick? Do you have a problem? Do you have a drinking problem?" It's like, no, I've just decided that this is a healthier lifestyle for me. That's all. No biggie. But it's awkward. So then came this big weekend for you away with the girls. How did you handle this weekend so you could feel included and have some fun?
Yeah, it was actually it was a couple things. I was at a neighbor's house for a Super Bowl party, and that same crew of ladies, the next weekend we're going away to the Poconos, which was so fun, a girls' weekend. But at that Super Bowl party, I got stuck with boring seltzer yet again. And so I thought for that girls' getaway, I knew there'd be a little bit of drinking. And that time around, I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to make my own mocktail because I'm sick of feeling left out. So that's what I did. I went to the grocery store with my daughter, who back then I think she's around 14, and then brought all these interesting ingredients like fresh citrus and some lavender extract, just different things, and kind of mixed around and had some fun and created a mocktail that I put in a 1 liter glass or 1 liter bottle and then brought it on the trip. So it sounds kind of silly and funny, but what I can share with you was once those corks started popping, I poured this pretty pink concoction that I made into a glass and felt so much better. I felt like I was part of the party. So it was at that very moment that I'm like, you know what? This should be a solution that everybody should have access to because it felt just so much better. So that was a real big game-changing moment for me.
Yeah, a game-changing weekend. What a great way to fulfill your own and many, many others' social void. You felt like you were part of the party and the celebration. It's important. I mean, I go as far as when I order club soda or sparkling water or whatever, if I'm at a bar, I ask for it in a wine glass without a straw, no ice. And, I'm very specific because I don't want people to look at me and say, why is she sitting there drinking out of a kiddie straw with a big fat lipped glass? Game changing, game changing.
Yeah.
This is what you've developed. So Mingle Mocktails is born. Congratulations. What was the point that made you decide to really go for this? You had a big career in the corporate world and you closed that door. What made you close that door and move forward?
Yeah, there was a lot of fear. There was fear of failure, fear of stepping away from the comfort of my glorious career that I still to this day treasure. I loved corporate America, but I just decided a couple things. Number one, I'm like, why not? You know, you can always go back to your job. And that's something my husband and I talked about. He's like, if it doesn't work out, you could go back. And number two, I saw a huge opportunity. I did kind of soft pitches with friends in my network who would tell me the truth and say, geez, Lori, you're crazy. But I shared this concept to a couple folks who were like, this is a great concept. I want to invest. So I knew I had something and I just decided to go for it. And I've never looked back.
That's great. I think your idea, your product, and your timing were perfect. You've hit the market when this big awakening and change in lifestyle is taking place. I just read the non-alcoholic beverage category is expected to increase in volume by 25% between 2022 and 2026. That's significant. I mean, I have a pretty good list as to why I think this is happening. What's the conversation like on the inside of this industry?
When I launched 6 years ago, I remember having to explain to a Whole Foods buyer outside of this local region why somebody would want to consider a line of adult non-alcoholic cocktails. And fast forward, that conversation has changed where we have retailers contacting us, which I absolutely love. So the trends are there and the data supports it. Actually, 40% of Americans don't drink, and more than half of them are women. So we're all seeking something. And like you said, Cheri, a lot of people just choose to take a break. So, you know, they're not really like, hey, give me a sparkling water. So let's give them a mocktail. So they do feel part of the party regardless. You know, that's what it's all about, is inclusion.
Yeah, I get it. And when I really want to celebrate, I order my sparkling water or club soda, and I tell them to drag it through the garden so it looks really, really special.
I love that, drag it through the garden. That's funny.
So what are the biggest changes or effects on your lifestyle since you decided to stop drinking alcohol?
Well, I'm not going to lie. It's all good things. There's not one negative that's come with giving up alcohol. I think some glorious immediate benefits were just the quality of sleep was phenomenal. The morning after, whether I had 2 drinks or 3, I just felt great. And then the other thing is just being fully present for my friends and family. You know, whether I'm at a happy hour or, you know, late in the night in a long evening, I'm fully present and aware of what I'm discussing and who with. And I think that's a huge benefit just overall. That's been great for me.
Yeah, I think the sleeping is pretty high on my list as well. It's amazing how much just one glass of wine can affect your night's sleep. And I know that it's great when I wake up in the morning and I feel really good, but I know it was such a good sleep. I can't wait to go to bed the next night, you know, and do it all over again. It's awesome. What don't you miss since you stopped drinking alcohol?
Um, I don't miss feeling puffy or dehydrated. You know, just thinking about the fact that it's been like 8 years since I haven't had a drink. I don't think I've been in better shape in my life. I just feel really strong and physically strong, emotionally strong. So I don't miss the feelings of just feeling off or, you know, a little hungover, a headache. So I really treasure just good health more than ever these days.
Great. Well, let's talk a little bit about Mingle Mocktails. They're gluten-free, vegan, they're natural. You've created guidelines, I would imagine, to stay within the categories, so they're pretty consistent.
Yeah. So, I mean, we are not just a little startup anymore. We're in almost 7,000 retailers across the country. Locally, Wegmans, we started out with bottles, but they're launching all cans in all stores in the next month or so. We're at the Pennsylvania Wine and Spirits stores. We're in some Acme's. We've launched in Whole Foods nationally. But really what it is a line of alcohol-free cocktails in cans and bottles in 5 fabulous flavors. Like this is the Blackberry Hibiscus Bellini. And these are just fruit-forward flavors inspired by top cocktails like the Cranberry Cosmo. And it enables anybody to enjoy a non-alcoholic cocktail, but they're also flexibly mixable. So I love that if you do choose to have a light cocktail, you can add a little Prosecco. We've got recipes on every can and bottle in case somebody would like to enjoy it that way. So in one can or bottle, social drinkers and non-drinkers alike can enjoy Mingle their way.
That's great. And I really like that you use real sugar and it's not artificial. So you get that nice, crisp, true flavor. I mean, it has a little sugar in it. It's not overpowering. And you kind of just went through some of your top varieties. I'm sorry, we're out of time. So what's on the horizon?
Well, I'm super excited. There are two things. Number one, we will be launching a variety pool pack just in time for the summer, so people can sample all flavors of Mingle. And hopefully in the next month, we will be announcing a fabulous partnership with a female celebrity businesswoman who's taken a personal interest in Mingle. So stay tuned on that.
Oh, that's exciting. Congratulations. Well, I can't wait to hear more. Unfortunately, we're out of time. So thank you very much for being on the show. I love challenges, and I especially enjoy hearing how entrepreneurs like you take your own challenges head on and create a solution for many. Thank you, Laura.
Thank you so much. Thanks for mingling with me.
My pleasure. For more information about Mingle Mocktails, story, varieties, recipe suggestions, online purchases, and where they're available, go to www.minglemocktails, that's plural.com. And if you would like to learn more about purchasing them for resale, write to info@minglemocktails.com. Thank you again for making sure everyone is included in the celebration. Sue will be right back to close out the show. Ladies, keep living your dreams.